President of the Republic of Italy, dear friends, it is a very great pleasure to be here today. Thank you for the warmth of your introduction. I should tell you, and my friend Enrico Terranoni has translated my poems, if you want to see what I'm doing. I'm particularly delighted to be back here again on such an important occasion. It is, of course, always enriching for the human spirit to visit Italy, this most beautiful country, and its people, most important, the origin of so much of the world's culture and creativity, and all the more so in Florence, a city forever associated with names like Dante, Michelangelo, and Galileo. It is always a particular pleasure, of course, to speak at a university, especially when the invitation comes from such a distinguished one which has the capacity for an interface with policy. The attraction of speaking here today at the European University Institute is not just the opportunity it offers for engagement with bright and inquiring minds, but also because of the essential role, I would even suggest the urgent role, which universities can and must play in seeking to understand the complexity of our world and addressing its challenges, empowered as they are with scholarly reflection, above all commitment to humanity, and to do so in the fullness of its possibility and capacity. Tomorrow the conference meets at Palazzo Vecchio, which has been the seat of civic government for much of the period since it was built more than half a millennium ago. Michelangelo's David, which arguably celebrates human beauty more wonderfully than any other statue, stands outside the palazzo, quietly dominating the piazza, even if the original statue is, of course, now in safekeeping elsewhere. Michelangelo's David, beyond its privileging of beauty, should remind us of three things which are essential for the European Union, I suggest, as we consider its future. First, that respect for culture in its diversity must be at the heart of our public discourse and our public space, of our common enterprise. Second, that the impact of our policy decisions on human beings must be foremost in our thoughts and in all our endeavors. Finally, in a contest as to future direction, there is no inevitability that the Goliaths of this world will come out on top. No certainty that might will be proved right. Solidarity in Europe. The timely theme of this conference must be, I suggest, the foundation in which our union's action is built. It must be the star which guides our action at home and in the wider world. I've already said I use it its original conceptual sense in political theory and in philosophy. I simply do not regard the two-sided nature of a transaction as meeting the requirements of solidarity. Enough for that on another day. The so-called Future of Europe debate has been launched because we need together to identify the significant reforms which are needed to reconnect the European Union with its citizens. If we fail in that aim, the debate would serve little purpose. In contributing to that debate, I strongly share President Macron's view that our union must be renewed and rebuilt from below. We may differ, however, in terms of the degree to which our assumptions about the connections between economy and society must also be changed from the top and down through the institutional architecture. Frankly, business as usual cannot address the challenges we face. May I suggest that we have an obligation to Europe's history, to our people and to the wider world, to examine and address these challenges, and the conversation on these issues must involve us all. Marfocal Square, let me say in conclusion that I believe we should remain committed to the European vision and to the potential of the founding principles of the European Union to provide the foundations of a renewed and strengthened union. To make that possible, we need a creative and courageous vision at this crucial moment in the history of our continent. I believe that what is required, as the timely theme of this weekly conference so rightly implies, is for us to rediscover the enabling and inspiring principle of solidarity. Solidarity within the Union and solidarity with the wider world. If I may, I will conclude by returning to Michelangelo, who once observed that every block of stone has a statue inside it, and it is the task of the sculptor to discover it. We are, in a sense, the sculptors of this European generation, still working on a block of valuable marble which has been passed down to us from the founding fathers of the European Union. If solidarity remains our guiding principle, I have no doubt that our European future, the outlines of which we can see, but much of which remains to be discovered by our own chisels, will be a source of pride for ourselves and an object of admiration and inspiration for others. Grazie. Thank you. Grazie.